Hi readers! Today I want to talk to you about identity maps. Identity maps are pretty cool because there are an infinite number of possibilities for them. Some aspects of our identities are consistent over our lives. Others change as we gain skills, discover more about ourselves, or take on different roles in life. As such, an identity map can change too. We can always add or change things about who we are and what is important to us. So watch now as I show you how I might start creating an identity map for myself. And while I'm the kind of person who just dives in, I'm going to stop and take a minute to just organize my work and decide on how I want this to look. So for ease of showing you today, I have my digital reader's notebook. And I looked down through all of the different pages and I thought about which page looks most like what I want to do. Well, I'm thinking just some sticky note brainstorming is going to be good for me. And so I can use that Control D to make a duplicate, which I've actually already done. And then I just retitled it my identity map. I'm also going to take a minute just to add it to my table of contents so that I know where it is. If I was using my paper notebook, I could just go to the page that I wanted. Maybe I'm going to get some sticky notes out, and then I'm going to add it to my table of contents again, just so I know where it is. And if I was using a paper notebook, I might be a little bit more interested in the page numbers. I would take a minute to number your pages. But cool feature about digital notebooks is I can actually link this to somewhere in the slideshow and slides in this presentation. And it's actually going to be slide 6. If I look over here, it's slide 6. And so I can just link that. And then when I'm ready to start, I can just go to slide 6. So I'm going to show you how I went about creating my identity map. And I will be really honest with you, for the purpose of this video, it's going to seem like it was really quick, but this took me a long time to kind of work out all the things that I kind of wanted to put on here. So the first question that I thought about when creating my identity map was, who am I? And to do that, I want to think about who I was in middle school. So this is me in 7th grade. And so I was trying to get back into that space, and maybe to think about who you are, you want to get a mirror, look at yourself, or just kind of sit and kind of think about who are you right now? What kind of stands out to you? And for me, one of the things that stood out for me was some things about my family. So one thing is I'm a daughter. One thing of who I am, I'm also a stepdaughter. I'm a sister and a stepsister, which has kind of different roles. And I'm the second oldest or middle-ish child, depending on how you count my step-siblings. And then I was also thinking that I identify as female and white. And I kind of grew up in a suburban neighborhood, actually just across the river in Milwaukee. I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic, but by middle school, we kind of stopped going to church, so we weren't really a practicing Catholic. And then the next question that I thought about is, what influences me? Well, in middle school, some of the things that influenced me were that my family had multiple divorces. My dad had been divorced twice by middle school, and he was just being married for the 3rd time. But mostly I was raised by my working dad, and sometimes he was single and sometimes he was not. I grew up in a kind of a lower middle class neighborhood. And my mom, for a number of reasons, was not around. We'd see her like once or twice a year. So I kind of see her as kind of absent. And so the next thing that I thought about was, what kind of things do I enjoy? What kind of things did I enjoy in middle school? Well, one of the things that I did was I played the viola in the orchestra. I started that in 4th or 5th grade, and I played through like 9th grade. So I played in the orchestra. I did try to be on the basketball team. It was not very good, but I tried. I liked being part of a team. And I really enjoyed reading. I would read all the time. That was kind of my escape, what I do, like all my free moments. And then finally, I kind of was thinking about like how did I feel? Like what were like some big feelings that I was having often there? And honestly, like when I was at school, I was pretty confident. I knew what I was supposed to do. I'd sit on the desk, I'd learn, I'd listen to my teacher. I felt confident. I knew what to do in that situation. And given that, like I was pretty driven to achieve. I had some perfectionist kind of things that I kind of had to work through, but I really wanted to do well. But with all this other stuff going on with my family, I was actually pretty insecure. And that kind of had a lot for me too. So, readers, I have shown you one way to start jotting your identity maps. You might do it in your digital notebook using some digital sticky notes. You could do it on a Google Doc or a drawing or some other program and make like a spoke diagram. You could use sticky notes in your physical notebook. Or you might just even draw on a notebook page with color. However, you start your identity map is up to you. This is about you. Nobody else is going to see it unless you want to share it. But we will be going back to these in future reading exercises. So, what I want you to do right now is stop this video, get out your supplies, and go make your identity map. Have fun.